Welcome to the post-game press conference. This is Group E of FIBA Basketball World Cup Asian Qualifiers matchup between the Philippines and Jordan. Philippines won the game 82-81. Now we're joined by Jordan head coach and player Alhamarche. Coach, your thoughts about the game that just transpired?
Yes, the first, congratulations, Gilas, for the win the game. It's a very big game. I hope like this game, long game, at the end, the game resolved in the last, in the extra time. I think that it's key. I talked with my players during the last 14 days that the key is the pace, is the possession in the game. At the end, it's clear for me where is the key. The game is in the 90 points, Gilas after transition, after turnovers. It's clear, 19 points. And they take 10 rebounds in offense more us. I am clear that if Gilas has more possession as we have problems to try to win the game. At the end, we competition very well. Congratulations, my players, because a very big effort to try to win this game. I think that we do the things very well. But at the end, small details in the last 5 minutes, in the time and in the extra time, I think the last moments, at the end, Gilas win the game. But I think that we are working well. We work together not a lot of time because I joined with the national team 15 days ago, but we are working very good together, and I think that is good to try to qualify to Qatar in the next windows.
Thank you so much, Jordan head coach Luis Quil. Now we send it over to their player number 7, Ahmad Alhamarche. Ahmad, your thoughts about the game?
First of all, congrats for Philippines. I think we start good in the first I would say first half, maybe first 15 minutes. I think the coach mentioned it. Teams like this, you can't have turnovers. You can't let them take offensive rebound. That's mean more position for them. And you can tell when they get the lead, it was, I think, from offensive rebound. So proud of the guys. We try to do everything during this 2 weeks. I think now we need to shift the focus to the next game. I think day by day, with more practices, more game, we're going to get better.
Thank you. Now we open the floor to questions from the media.
To coach, how do you compare Gilas' plays now, on your first meeting on 2023 Asian Games? More improvement?
I think that now it's totally different today, Gilas, because Brawley no play. I think that is a key player for them. Because when he plays, the ball he has a lot of times. I think that today the coach proposed start the game with 2 bigs. I think that very, very big team, very physical team is where 2 very big players. And Tamayo playing in 3 positions is very physical team. I think for me, surprised because he's big size. And it's different for this because he's like Gilas play now, they are playing well, but it's different totally. It's not play Brawley because Brawley produces a lot of things with the ball in the hands. And I think that he has, for me, they have incredible team, very big roster. They have a lot of players because some players not here, but they have 15, 16 players, very high level to play in big level in FIBA. And for me, surprised because always I know in Gilas, in Philippines, the basketball is the first sport, and always they have a very good team and they have very good players. But for me, it's more surprised. Like a lot of players now in a way they are playing in Japan, they are playing in Korea. This experience, I think, is good for the players because in these international games, they show us how is this IQ to play this kind of the games. But for me, I think that surprises a lot of players, a lot of roster every year here in Philippines.
Coach, the first half, you shot the ball very well from beyond the arc, from 3 in particular, but then come the second half, adjustments were made, changes were made. What made it difficult for Jordan from beyond the arc from 3 during that second half?
Now, it's clear the first thing, when finished the second quarter, I told with my player, like this percent with pull-up shots is impossible all game. I am sure 100%, because 50% if we are scoring pull-ups every time, with this kind of the shots, it's very difficult to win one game. Very difficult. For this, the second time, we try to go more the paint, look for other options to more defense, because I know this. Some players like Jalen joined with the team 5 days ago. Is they not play this in the second time. Some players is of course tired because they not competition till to the windows. They not play games all in the Williams Cup. For this, I think the second time we are tired because we did good shots to win the game. The last two shots in the last action to win the game in the time is a good option to lay up, good rebound, good shot in the last time. But it's true, like we have worse percentage 3-point shots. But I say to my players, it's impossible to win the game with pull-ups full time. Full time, it's impossible because at the end you reduce the percent. It's clear. Any team in the world, 50% will pull us every time.
Any more questions? And if there will be no more questions, that'll be it for the first part of our press conference. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Ahmad, and we will see you again in your next game. That will be the end of the first part of our press conference. We will proceed with the Philippines coming up after this break.
Thank you.
Yep.
And we continue with the press conference here in the FIBA Basketball World Cup Asian Qualifiers, Philippines versus Jordan. Philippines winning the matchup 82-81. We're now joined by Coach Tim Cone and CJ Perez. First, Coach Tim, your thoughts about that match?
Well, I mean, it was fantastic. It was fun to be a part of. It was fun to be on this side of it, winning. I know how tough it is. Against New Zealand, we were on the other side of it, overtime game, and losing these really, really important, world qualifiers. So it's good to be on this side of it, and I got to give a lot of credit to Jordan. They came out and punched us early, and You know, I really believe in our big lineup, as CJ knows and all the guys know. I really believe in our big lineup, and we try to go out there and overpower them, but it didn't work as well, so we had to make an adjustment, and we went smaller and quicker, and CJ led the charge, and he was able to get to the rim and really change the tempo of the game. I thought the shot by Carl at the end of the half was a big one. It gave us confidence coming in at halftime, and I felt we had him on the ropes a few times. In the third quarter, I felt that we were about ready to zoom off, but turnover here or there kept him in the game, and then we had to go down the stretch and you know, came down to what I always like. It comes down to defense, and Kai came up and made that huge block at the end to win it for us. But that was just before CJ made that really great unselfish pass to KQ for the three. So it wasn't just CJ going to the basket. He was impacting in many areas. And also I gotta say that Scotty and CJ and Dwight did a great job defending Jalen Harris and Ibrahim. Ibrahim was lights out in the first half, but we got him under control in the second. So, but you know, their defense really turned the tide and kept those two guys under control.
Thank you, Coach. Now, CJ, your thoughts about that match?
It was tough kasi dikdikan lang siya, and yeah, we just did our defense talaga, because that's for sure Coach Tim taught us na defense win the basketball game, and he always remind us na it's just 1 point win every time. So sabi nga ni Coach Tim, we're happy now we're in this side winning, kasi you know the last time in overtime they lost. And yeah, we're just motivated because we're at home and we play for our country. So yeah.
Thank you, CJ. Now we open the floor to questions from the media. Just please line up here and approach the mic if you have any questions.
Coach, you wrote 1 point win on the board. It was posted on the social media page. And do you wish you wrote 10 points instead of just one?
No. There's a reason for the 1 point win. When you're working for a 1 point win, you have to value every possession, offensively and defensively. So that's really the point of that, is that we really want to value. We're not necessarily looking for a 1 point win, but we're trying to play as if it's going to be a 1 point win, and that means valuing each possession defensively and offensively. So, but I would have certainly preferred a 10 point win than a 1 point win. But at this point, you know, we're just trying to stay alive and keep fighting for that World Cup. We know how important it is to us. We know how important it is to the players. We know how important it is to the country. And so just coming out and getting that 1 point win, people just remember that we won. They won't remember the 1 point win probably, 10, 15 years from now. But if we make the World Cup, maybe we might remember this game a little bit more.
Hi, Coach. Coach, just want to ask updates on Carl Tamayo, because we saw him get the nasty fall in the middle of the game. What's the initial diagnosis on him heading into that?
Well, we'll see what he can do. Right now, he's having a hard time. He can walk, but beyond walking, it's the knee, the ankle is swollen. It's a sprained ankle, and we'll give him the treatment tonight, and we'll give him the treatment tomorrow, and we'll see how he is at that point. In the meantime, we still got RJ and Justin Aranya and RJ Barrientos on the list. So one of those two guys could fill in for Carl if necessary. Hopefully it won't be necessary.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach, good evening and congratulations. Coach, it's been a long time since you handled the national team playing all Filipino, but this is also probably, for a long time, this is the tallest lineup that you had been coaching. So can I get your thoughts about it?
I think you're referring back to 1998 when we had a pretty tall team there. We had EJ Farrell and Marlu Aquino and Dennis Espino. it was a really nice big team then. You know, I've always favored big teams. So now I'm a big man's coach. I love coaching big men. So to have Kai and AJ and Jumar part of this team is really fun for me. And I'm trying to figure out how best to play them. I'd like to play them together more. But as you can see tonight, going a little smaller and faster was the better game plan. So, you know, we'll have to revisit that when we play Iran. But, you know, it was tough not having Justin. You know, Justin is my comfort blanket. You know, I put him on, and I've been doing that for, you know, 10, 11 years. And not to have him, I felt very exposed. And but these guys stepped up. And not having Justin there and still winning made this even sweeter. So we'll take this one. But like I keep telling the guys, the job is only half done. You know, we came in here, you know, with 2 do-or-die games. We got 1 done. Now we got to go out and get another one on a really, really tough Iran game, who's coming off a tough loss with New Zealand. So obviously they're going to be extremely motivated.
More questions from the media?
Coach, congratulations on the win. You've seen
Hey,
your,
I haven't seen you in a while.
nice seeing you too. You've seen your fair share of great players over the years as a coach. When you consider the fearlessness that Kevin Kiambao plays with, particularly that last 3-point earlier, does he remind you of other greats in terms of having the courage to take those big shots down the stretch of a game?
Well, the one I always think about taking big shots down the stretch is Jimmy Alapag, actually, in Gilas. Jimmy was fearless taking those big shots down the stretch. Obviously, he's a point guard, and KQ's a big, you know, a small forward slash power forward, trying to convert to an off guard. So, but you know, he's you know, he came in as the young guy on the team when we put this team together. What, 2.5, 3 years ago, and. You know, we said at that point that at some point, you know, he's going to be the guy that takes over this program, and him and Carl were the 2 young guns that were going to come up and be our main guys at some point. And I was expecting that to happen when they're 26, 27, 28, but it's happening now when they're 23, 24 years old. So they've got a tremendous future in front of them. Really a joy to coach KQ. He's such a good kid, too. Really, really good kid. Carl also. So it's really fun to coach those guys.
Okay, question for CJ. CJ, yung last play when you passed it off to KQ for that go-ahead 3-point shot, was that really a design play or parang nag-improvise ka na lang and it was a spontaneous moment?
I think I just did my thing kasi no one told me to take over, but I took it. Yeah, I took the risk. And Zach set a ball screen, and then I turned the corner, and I saw KQ fill in the wing, so he made the shot. Then I told him before the game that he keep shooting, because that's what he do. And yeah, he make it, and yeah, I'm proud of him.
It was a real function of him, if I may add on, it's a real function of him being able to get to the rim. He got to the rim multiple times, and the defense made a decision to really collapse on him this time, so he couldn't get to the rim. So they really jumped into his driving lanes, and he made the great decision to kick out the KQ, because they left KQ to help out on CJ. So it was a function of him, you know, getting to the rim consistently against their defense. They had to adjust their defense, and he made the adjustment himself into that pass into KQ.
CJ, congratulations. You have a lot of games like this in the PBA. How does it feel to have this kind of performance, especially playing at home and in a must-win situation?
Yeah, I'm just happy kasi yun nga, from the PBA, then I got to do it here. I'm just happy talaga. That's it.
Coach, you mentioned Scotty playing and making an impact, especially defensive. Can you describe this performance, especially coming up an injury?
Well, you know, people kind of give Scotty a hard time because he's not a great shooter. You know, he's not a true point guard. You know, he'll make a turnover here or there, but they dismiss all the other stuff that he does. As we know in the PBA, you know, we call him Scotty things. He does all the Scotty things. He gets the rebounds. He gets the loose balls. He defends. He knows how to get teams into execution, and he will make big shots or get to the rim and when he needs to. But he really relies on his teammates a lot to make shots. So, and then coming off, you know, he came off a really bad hamstring injury, really bad. It was kind of you know, you could see the bruising on the outside of his leg. So it took him a while to recover. Same thing with CJ. CJ was not playing the last, 3 games? Yeah. In the PBA. And we weren't even sure if he was going to join us. And we had to make a bunch of calls to confirm that he was going to come in and play with us. And so they're both coming off of injury. So both really crucial to our success tonight.
Coach, going back to Kai, obviously the numbers said how well he played, but what can you say about how he was able to adjust quickly to the team after missing, I believe, 2 years?
Almost 2 years, yeah. 1 year from injury, recovering from that ACL. You know, we were, right before he got injured, you know, we had gone to the OQT in Latvia, and we had done really, really well there. We beat Latvia, which at that time was number 5 in the world. We came back home. We played New Zealand in the FIBA Asia, and we beat New Zealand here at home. And then the next thing we know, he goes back to Japan and gets an ACL, and that kind of set us back. You know, we've been hoping that he can come back to join us at some point. Now he has. And the thing about Kai, yes, he's 7'3", but his knowledge of the game, his instincts for the game is like a point guard. Really, it's like he's RJ Abarientos or Juan Diliano, and because he's really that smart and that intelligent, and that makes him make the people around him better. Everybody's better when he's on the floor. Whether it be through passing or screening or rolling, the attention he grabs, he just makes everybody around him better. And what was really big tonight was his defense, patrolling against Aldradi, who was a really top-class center, and also patrolling the paint, not allowing, especially in the second half, not allowing Harris and Ibrahim to get to the rim on us. And Olajuwon at the end. Remember, Olajuwon earlier was getting to the rim with impunity, but that last play, he tried to get to the rim, and of course, Kai rejected him.
Coach, for my end, first half was pretty tough, especially first quarter. You guys were down big. So were there any pressure, and how was the halftime? Was there was a motivational speech that fired the squad up?
Well, no, I just think that, you know, we worked our way back into the game. We got it down to 3 or 4, and then they made a run again, got it up to 8. And then that last shot of Carl Tamayo at the buzzer, I think that really lifted our spirits and got us believing that we were going to win the game. I think before that, we were kind of in doubt, especially after that first quarter. Like I said, we took a punch from them early, and we had to really shake it off and move forward. So it was a real character time for us. And then third quarter, I think guys were just living off that last moment of that half. They brought it forward into the third quarter.
Coach, can you just talk about AJ Edu's defensive versatility in this game, especially when you inserted him coming off the bench today?
Yeah, AJ was phenomenal. He changed our pick and roll defense. We were able to, we had to change our schemes from the first half because we weren't getting up on our screens, and Harris was rising from screens. Ibrahim was rising from screens and getting shots. And AJ, with his defensive versatility, was able to jump out on screens and really kind of stop their offense in its tracks. So, you know, without that, we wouldn't have been able to get back into the game. And that was one of the defensive big adjustments that happened because of what he was doing. And that really changed the tempo of the game.
Coach, fast break points 18-5 in your favor. Is this something that you'll be trying to do even more in the next game?
That's new.
That's not my intention. But I mean, at this point, you know, you do what you can for the skills of your players. Right now, we just tried to open the game for CJ. We saw it was working, so we let it go. You know, as long as we can control the boards and get the ball out, then there's no reason why CJ and Scotty and Dwight and KQ and Carl maybe not, but they can get out on the floor in the open court. You know, we had to open the court for these guys and allow them to use their skills.
Coach, the margin of error coming to this game was slim. On Sunday, it's still the same.
Yeah, well, from our calculations, we got to win 5 of 6 in this round. We have 6 games, 2 more against Syria, 2 against Iran, and 1 more against Jordan. And we got to win 5 or 6 if we want to have a shot at making the World Cup. Got some help tonight, this morning when, or early this afternoon when New Zealand beat Jordan. And Iran. That was important for us to continue our journey. So, but we got to take care of our own business. So, like I said, this is like halftime for us. You know, we haven't won anything. We need to win the whole game. Right now, it's just halftime. We got another game to play.
And if there are no more questions, that'll be the end of this press conference. Once again, congratulations, Philippines, for winning against Jordan.
Right,
And
thank you.
MMC, just as we close out, it is classic. Thank you so much. Get home safe. And on that note, good night.
Take care, guys. Take care.
I didn't catch it. I was thinking about what?